how are you? I hope you're okay. My name is Brady. You may have come across my work. I write songs and poems. I also do painting art. My songs and poems can be found on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Brady Kenya with the handle at Brady Kenya. I also have my poems and songs on major music platforms like Amazon. You can find them on Apple Music. You can find them like everywhere. Deezer, Facebook, TikTok. So I do not actually sing, I write songs and I post them. So that is a bit of introduction about myself. I do a lot of things, but those are the ones that are out there. Those are the ones that are known, and those are the ones that I really find a lot of love and a lot of interest in them. I know that introduction was necessary because this is my first podcast, and as always, when you're starting, you do not know what to do. But I hope as we continue with this one, I'll be able to know what my audience wants and what we should be discussing. I will not be discussing people, maybe just mentioning a few examples here and there, but I will not be discussing people entirely. I'll be talking about life, and that is majorly my life. So you can get to know me away from poetry, away from my art. You can get to know the person who is actually this Brady, and I felt that will be a good thing. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and I've been meaning to talk about, is choosing oneself. And this is a hot topic because when you're choosing yourself, you have to shed off. You have to shed off a lot of things. You have to shed off a lot of people. You have to sacrifice because it is you. You know, as you choose yourself, you're also going to affect other people in doing so. But sometimes you have to be a little selfish about yourself. So we have to understand that in these bodies, this is the only place you're going to live for the rest of your life. Sometimes it is challenging. It is a big challenge because you never know. You never know what will happen when you decide to let go of everything. Art has taught me to look out for myself and to look out for things that I love and to be observant in all that. So choosing yourself involves letting go. I'll start with a quote that I read somewhere. I do not know who actually wrote it because I've seen so many people claim that it is them, or so many photos online claiming that it is this, it is not this one, but the message is what is important and not actually who wrote it. Before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, make sure you are not, in fact, surrounded by assholes. That is how it goes, and that is how raw it is. I found that so true, and it has taught me anytime that you feel that this place is not good for me and this place is not fitting for me, you just have to leave. Yeah, I think that is majorly what I've been doing all my life. And sometimes people will tell you that you're running away from yourself, you can solve some problems. But we have to agree that you cannot fix what you did not break. You cannot be a Superman, or you cannot be a god in people's lives. Sometimes you have to let people decide and see your value. And this one involves letting go. And letting go is not as easy as a switch. It's not a switch. It is something you have to really master. There's something that I saw in a skit that someone said, I'm good at running because this is the only thing that I've been doing for the rest of my life. So I think you should do it. You should do it. I'm not giving you like a tablet, a stone tablet that you should follow, or some commandments that you should follow. But these are just my thoughts. And my thoughts are, it doesn't matter how many times you choose yourself. There's no limit to how many times you choose yourself. When you feel that this thing is not good for me, just leave and look out for yourself. Look out for yourself. Because we do not know the many diseases that we collect, many mental diseases that we collect along the way. It's because sometimes we wanted to please someone. Sometimes we wanted to be nice to some people. We just end up not being ourselves. What about us? Because if you're pleasing this person, they're getting satisfaction. Are you getting satisfaction as a person? And that even involves living, work. And I know how tricky that can be because you have to start again. As much as I'm talking about choosing yourself, you also have to understand that people cannot be perfect. So you have to also understand that as much as I'm choosing myself, I also have to give people a chance to be themselves and talk about these things. There are people, when you talk to them, they understand and they do not adapt immediately, but slowly they adapt. We also have to be fair because we are not perfect people. We are not perfect. As much as we say we are perfect or we have standards of what we need in people, we have to be fair because we are not perfect. We cannot be perfect. And sometimes maybe these people also think that they need to grow away from us, and that should allow for maturity. That should allow for maturity and should help us know that we cannot be good for everyone. As much as we expect people to be good to us, we cannot be good for everyone. So also when people choose themselves and decide that they have to let you go, you should also learn to adapt to that. Yeah, it's about that. In one of my poems, I've pointed out that losing is painful, but holding on to something that you cannot have, it's suicidal. You don't need to kill yourself to be in a place. Even if it's work, you don't need to kill yourself to work there. There are alternatives. Opportunities do not come once. I have never accepted that because there is a multiverse of opportunities around us. So you cannot tie to some old quotes and believe that this is it, this is the gospel. No. And something that you should know, what you tell your mind is what it becomes. When you believe that I will never get something like this again in my life, you're not going to get it. Forget it. Train your mind to learn that the way you got this opportunity, the way you got this something, you are also going to get it somewhere else. It is not tied to that specific place. And yeah, that is about everything. You should decide, or you should put yourself before everything. If you have a spouse, before your own spouse, or your own boyfriend, girlfriend, you should always come first before even your own parents. As I said, these bodies that we live in, this is home. This is the only home that you're going to be in for all that time. And I think these are things that we know, but what I say here is just a reminder. I also know while we're choosing ourselves, there are people that are affected. As I've said, you have to be so selfish with yourself for your own mental health. But also, as you choose yourself, you have to know that there are people that you are affecting. This is a little bit tricky, but sometimes when you see that these things are too much, there's the pressure that you know your body, your mind, your soul, and there's a pressure that that this thing, I can hold it to this end, and I can't. It is like pee. You cannot hold pee for certain times. There's this thing that maybe when you are far from home and you feel it, you can train your mind to hold it. But when you just reach the door, you have to run to the washroom. The same way that there's a pressure that you can hold, there's a breaking point. So you have to learn yourself and know that I can hold up to this end and I can let go when I reach here. I don't think there's much to be discussed about choosing yourself. There is. But for me, that is what I felt I should talk about today. We'll be talking about this choosing yourself. We'll be talking about this self-choice. But what we have to know is that you come first. You come first in everything. Your satisfaction should be first. You have to put yourself at the forefront. There's a friend of mine. She said something that really evoked a lot. She said that when you're going to buy chicken, make sure that the biggest part you eat, it's yours. Yeah, it looks selfish, but it wasn't about chicken. It was about your life. Always choose the best things. The ones that you can choose the best things. That is it. That is about everything that I wanted to talk in this introduction to my podcast, introduction to the things that I wanted to talk. There's actually no notes to follow or no guide to follow in these talks. And if you think that what I talk here could be useful to someone else, please subscribe, share with friends, and like, and also comment. Let me know what you think I haven't touched here. We can always have a redo. We can always come back and also discuss about this. So feel free. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking your time off everything and getting to listen to me, getting to hear what I have to say about these things. We'll be doing more. I do not have a specific schedule to this one, but I'll try as much as possible to have at least 2 or 3 in a week. Goodbye for now. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good afternoon. Goodbye.